Hello everyone, my name is Caden K from Hide and Seek, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we're actually not going into a case, but rather we're doing a location called the Texas Killing Fields. So, as usual, grab a blanket, grab some snacks, and get comfortable while we dive into the location of the Texas Killing Fields. It's actually quite interesting, especially considering that it's near where I live. Well, not like right next door to where I live, but it's in Texas, and that's a little spooky. I kind of like and don't like covering these types of cases in my home state because it's like, whoa, well that's cool, but oh, also these people were brutally murdered. Anyway, let's hop in. The Texas Killing Fields is an area that borders Calder Oil Field in Texas, obviously. This patch of land is roughly a mile away from the Interstate Highway 45, which is said to be a perfect spot to murder people. The director of the film, Texas Killing Fields, even commented on it by saying, quote, "You could actually see the refineries that are in the south end of the League City. You could see the I-45, but if you yelled, no one would necessarily hear you, and if you ran, there wouldn't necessarily be anywhere to go." End quote. There have been 30 victims found in this field from the 1970s onward, and in all honesty, it seems like these numbers kind of just keep adding up. Kind of concerning. These murders are a very mixed bag of whether they're solved or not. Some people are put to justice while other murders remain unsolved. I'll be going into the ones that have been solved today. There were only 2 victims of murders that actually got justice to their name. All the other people, nothing. Few leads, potential leads, but nothing. The first victim was Crystal Jean Baker. Crystal was just 13 years old at the time of her death. On March 5th, 1996, she stormed out of her house after a fight with her grandmother, but didn't realize this was the last time she'd ever see her. She was last seen calling her family and asked them to pick her up. A few hours later after the call is when her body was found. She had been raped, strangled, and dumped over the I-10 Trinity Bridge. In 2009, a man named Kevin Edison Smith had been arrested on a drug charge in Louisiana. A detective tested Crystal's dress for DNA, and a match was confirmed. In 2012, a jury found him guilty, and he was sentenced to a life in prison. The next victim was 19-year-old Shelley Sykes. Sykes was overpowered as she drove home from her job at a seafood restaurant on May 24, 1986. As police searched for her abductors, it was a drunken phone call from one of the killers to El Paso police that led investigators to arrest him. 30-year-old John Robert King called the police and told them that him and 30-year-old Gerald Peter Zwarst, close enough, attacked Shelley Sykes while she was in her car, raped her, and then strangled her. After their arrest, he had told the police that he had hidden the body in one of the fields where other bodies were found. Both men were asked to identify where her body was in exchange for dodging the life sentence, but their directions failed to uncover it. They were convicted of aggravated kidnapping and received life imprisonment sentences in 1998. As I mentioned before, there were only 2 victims that have actually had justice be brought to them. The other victims just haven't. The deaths of these individuals aren't believed to be done by one person, simply because of the cases that have been solved with different killers that committed them. A good majority of these deaths have been unsolved, and it's unclear if these people will ever get their killers named. The Texas Killing Fields has had a body come up as recently as of 2006. Let's just hope that number remains the same and doesn't have any more recent cases. And this brings us to the end of the Texas Killing Fields. I would have gone into every other victim. It's just that I don't want this video to be 45 minutes because there are like 30 plus victims and it's like, oh my gosh, wow, 30 whole lives are gone. And for what reason, you know? For what reason were these people taken from this earth? But, you know, I'm not a killer, so I don't know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, why not like and subscribe? It helps me out. If you didn't like it, dislike it, and let me know what I can improve on in the comment section below. I always look for constructive criticism. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next one.